What we saying, people, and welcome to another episode of the Pro Tottenham podcast. And yeah, got a couple bits to go through today. Firstly, I want to talk about the new contract for Ben Davies. I mean, personally, I think it's a really, really good deal. It's only a year's extension, so it's not like it's a mad one where it's like 2 years or 3 years, whichever. It's just a year. Do you know what I mean? He's been at the club now 12 years, I think it is in total. And he's going into his 13th season now, so that's pretty, it's pretty relevant to what we need going forward. I think with the squad that we've got. I mean, there's a lot of young players there that will need guidance, going forward. And I mean, Ben Davies has never been a problematic player for us. He's always given 100%. He's always been one of those players where I feel personally that we can rely on him when he does come in to do a job. I don't think he's ever really, in my opinion, had a really terrible game. So I think, to extend his contract, I think it's probably, it's a smart bit of business in my eyes. He's versatile at the back. He can play left back, play, centre back as well. He's not going to get a lot of game time if we're actually being serious. With the new players that we've got coming in, with Senesi, we're linked to, Van Hecker and that. I think it's going to be a bit of business where we sort of utilise him as a backup, to be fair. And if he's learning his coaching badges, we've got someone who's going to be potentially part of the coaching and staff setup in the next year or so. So it's worth keeping him. There's no point to let him go. He's done so much for us in terms of been with us for so long. We just need that sort of character and behaviours behind the scenes, where someone who understands how the club is run, understands what being at Tottenham means to us. As fans, we have sort of a certain degree and an expectation of what we want from our players, and I think Ben Davies will understand that as well, and they get that message across to the younger lot in the next couple of seasons if he does stay as a coach. Yeah, another bit of business that we've seen happen recently in the last couple of days is Bissouma leaving. Again, I mean, he's a big part of recent years as well in terms of that. Probably sort of someone that was, probably well liked within the squad, I would have thought, because of his character and his nature. But performance-wise, we haven't really seen, since he signed for us, not really seen the best of him, have we? So probably letting him go on a freebie isn't the worst decision that we can make. I think with the sort of direction that De Zerbi's looking to go in now, he's obviously seen Bissouma and thought he's not part of the plans to go forward. And it's probably an area that we could probably upgrade on and do better in as well. So not too sorry to see him go. I mean, he's been steady, I'd say, across the last few seasons, but there's all that background drama, isn't it? I mean, the whole laughing gas thing is not something that we want associated with our club. It just brings negative attention, and we get enough of that as it is being Tottenham. So there's no point having someone who's going to be bringing that sort of negativity to the media's attention or to rival fans. We just don't need it, to be fair. He's always been itching for a move. Well, I say itching. He's been looking to move away for a couple of years now, I'd say, or a couple of windows at least, with the Turkish clubs coming in. I think Galatasaray wasn't there. I think linked with him at one point. So yeah, like I said, it's not a bad bit of business to let him go. So he's not going to be too missed. We've got quite a lot of talent and options in that centre mid area. Yeah, with Archie Gray looking to push on, further as well, it's probably a position where we could probably lighten the load a little bit. And losing Bissouma is not going to cause too much of an issue. So yeah, and with the incomings, we've also seen Senesi coming in, which I think is a really good signing, coming from Bournemouth. We've been linked with him for a little while now, and we obviously need that second option. I'd say probably if Van der Ven was to get injured, to have that sort of left-sided or left-footed centre-back replacement to come in and, do a job for us. Whether he pushes for the first team or not, I'm not too sure, because of the fact that if we're looking at getting Van Hecker in as well, then what would the options be at centre-back? Who would our first choice pairing be going forward? I know there's a lot of talk about De Zerbi might, shift to a back three, which would work for certain games, and it gives him that different option to play, a different system. So that might work in that sense. But it's just nice to see, us actually have decent options at centre-back for a change, where we can actually rely on players coming in. I mean, we've been unfortunate with Dragusin getting injured. I like Dragusin, to be fair. Prior to his injury, I thought he's a solid sort of backup. Never really pushed on too much. Didn't really like how his agent went about his business of trying to sort of engineer a move away at times. But as a player, I thought Dragusin was a decent option to have. And it looks like he's going to be on his way out as well this summer. So big change at the back for us. Not necessarily going to be, again, like Bissouma, missing Dragusin too much. I think he's an option where cash in, get a little bit of money for him and use the money elsewhere in the squad to strengthen. And yeah, there's also the signing of Robertson, which again is another big signing for us, I think. Again, one of those players where you look at his behaviours and his character, and that's someone you'd rather have them on your side than playing against you. That's one thing for sure. He's a Liverpool legend, arguably the best left back the Premier League has ever seen as well. So you can't argue against signing someone like Andrew Robertson. He's going to be a top player for us, I think. His qualities that he brings are going to be something which we can definitely utilise, especially in the De Zerbi system. And he has the stats to back that up as well. I mean, he's the, I think he was the second, I did post it on my X account, but I think he was the second highest defender with the most assists in the Premier League, only behind Trent Alexander-Arnold. So that tells you everything you need to know about the quality of player that we're bringing in. And I think to have him competing with Udogie as well is only going to benefit us long term, as long as we don't sell Udogie on. I mean, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot from Udogie to learn from someone like Andrew Robertson going forward. So I think he'd benefit massively from that as well. It's proper competition as well at left back, which I say we haven't really had in recent years. I mean, we've had obviously Spence stepping in at left back, but he's not we signed him as a right back. He's not a out and out left back. He can do a really, really good job there, but he's not an out and out left back. So to have that competition on the left side now, it's only going to bode us well going forward. So yeah, we'll have to see what the future holds for us going forward in terms of any more signings in those defensive positions. I think Van Hecker's probably going to, the next big one we'll get in if we can agree a fee for him. And as for other positions, I'm not too sure if we spoke about it before. I'm not too sure. I don't think we need a attacking mid as much as what people maybe believe that we need. I mean, I spoke about it before on my X. I've said about us trying to get a player in which is going to be an attacking mid. But if we have Maddison fit and we have Xavi fit, then do we need a third attacking midfielder, really? It is debatable whether we bring one in or not. I mean, it would have to be an upgrade on Xavi or an upgrade on Maddison if we were to bring one in. And bringing someone in of that calibre is not going to be an easy task. So that's probably a position where it's probably going to be in the back burner. I can't see us going hammer and tongs trying to get an attacking mid in to bolster the squad. So that's one I think, sit tight on it and wait and see what happens with that one. But the position I think we definitely do need, or two positions that we do need strengthening, is obviously left wing, which we can only hope that Savino gets across the line as well. We keep hearing reports about it's nearly done and stuff like that, but you know what it's like. It's Tottenham. Nothing's never nearly done. There's always going to be an issue there. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we get Savino over the line and he gives us that option at left wing. And then going forward, then that obviously gives us options of Savinho, Odobert still to come back as well on the left. So you've got a couple players there for each position, which is, again, it's only going to help us out, isn't it? Yeah, and the other position I think is a striker that we need to get in, because I don't think that Rich or Solanke are going to be reliable next season. Certainly I don't think Rich, to be fair, out of the two will be here next season. I reckon we're definitely cashing on one of them. I can't see us... I mean, I could see us selling both and then trying to sign a couple strikers in, but realistically, I don't see it happening. So I think probably if out of the two of them are going to go, if I had to choose one, it's probably going to be Richarlison, to be fair. He's not really done too much for us since he signed him. He's been one of those players where he's good as a utility player. He can play a couple of different positions, but he's never been that clean cut 20 plus to 25 plus goal striker that we're ever going to require from someone of that sort of position at the club. And when it comes down to Solanke as well, I mean, the injuries probably hampered him this season. I just find it astounding that you look at how he was at Bournemouth and that season before he signed. I don't think he had a single game that he missed through injury. And more or less as soon as he signed for Tottenham, has been injury after injury at the moment. So he's one again where I think get the injuries out of the way, probably give him a decent run out on the side. He might be able to do a job. But again, I don't think we're looking at a 20 plus to 25 goal striker in Solanke. So that again is another position where we definitely need to look at if we want to try and push on next season, because we can't be having the same thing happen again where injuries are hampering us, and then we're sort of struggling against relegation and we're trying to fight our way out of tricky situations. We need to be able to have players that we rely on and push them forward and actually get us up the table into the positions that the club should be in. So yeah, I think we've got a busy summer ahead as a club. Hopefully get the transfer deals done that we can, that are necessary and that we need, get them over the line, get them in the door and push on and see what we can do next season under the Zerbi. So yeah, thanks for listening. If you've got this far, do appreciate it. Appreciate all of you who are listening and giving your support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm trying to build the page up, so any help is good help. But I appreciate you all. Come on, you Spurs.